Hi everybody. A while back, I was working on a folio with the Princess Graphic 45 papers. It was going along good, and then I ran into a little problem. And so you will notice in the videos, the number 2 video, I ended it kind of abruptly. I got to a point where something went wrong and I got frustrated. So I stopped and I was gonna throw the whole thing away, and I thought, no, you've got too much time and too many materials involved. You have to figure it out. So this was probably a month ago. I haven't touched it until today. I thought, okay, today's a good day to try to figure this out. So what happened is this left flap here, it opens this way, and these lift up, and then this opens. Well, this does not want to close right. If you can see, there's a gap. I've got magnets in there, and it's not the cards, and I just got frustrated, and I thought, before you do something drastic and throw this whole thing away and lose all that time and money, just put it aside. So I thought, can I try to score it different so it closes better? And I thought of all kinds of different things and run the scenarios through, and I knew they wouldn't work. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting this flap out. It's just too bulky. So I don't know if we can use it maybe as a tag or something, but that is what I decided to do. So in the video, when you go to put this tag in video 1, you're not going to do it. And I will cover this again in another part. But for right now, we're going to cut that out of here. So let me get a good sharp blade here and try to cut through just that and not the whole thing. Now I'm going to follow along my score line. I'm hoping. Actually, I think I'm going to turn it this way so I can be on the right hand side of it because I'm right-handed. I'm going to kind of hold it up and then follow that score line. Keep it bent. And just follow that score line. I don't want to cut through my other part. So let's see here. And I feel bad about this. I should have allowed some gussets in here. And I thought, oh, there's plenty of room. Well, there's not. So if I can stop you from building it with that in there, then that will be great. But I did not, like I said, I got frustrated, and I had to set it aside. And sometimes you have to do that if you're working on something and it gets to the point where you just don't know what to do. You don't start thinking clear then. So it's a good time to set it aside until you can think better about it and make a good decision. So, all right, so now this should take care of the problem here. Let me get that little piece of paper. There we go. So now this should close, and that should be fine. My fear was to keep adding stuff to this, and then you go to put a picture or something in there, and it just wouldn't hold it. So we're going to start off finishing off the left-hand side here. And this is what I numbered number 8. So number 8 I marked everything. And I have a flip here. So we're going to do a pink and then a color. Now that is another thing that I probably wouldn't do again, is add another color, because it just made it thicker and thicker and thicker. So my pinks are 3 7/8 wide by 5 7/8 high. And we're just going to lay those down. And we're going to need 4 of those because we have the top of the flip and the bottom of the flip. Put a little extra glue on my magnet there. And this will give us about 1/4 of an inch edge. Or I'm sorry, about 1/8 of an inch edge. I went with a little bit bigger edge because I wanted to see more of the brown. All right. And then our next ones are, did I write those down? Okay, if these are 3 7/8 by 3 7, so these are 3 5/8 by 5 5/8. So those, you need 4 of those. 3 5/8 by 5 5/8. Another 1/8 of an inch smaller, so another 1/4 of an inch. And then, you know, you might want them close. You might want to not show as much. You might want to go with just one color. So then that will change your size there. But like I said before, I just have way too much product invested in this to just throw it out. So that's that one. Let's do this part now. I'm going to add a little bit extra glue here. And we're going to do this part. There we go. If you have directional paper, then you got to make sure you pay attention to that when you cut it out. Okay, there we go. So we'll just flatten down. We'll get this bottom one here done. Again, our 3 7/8 by 5 7/8 for the pink. They're all the same size for that. And you'll still have plenty of room for photos in this folio. It's a good size folio, so you'll have plenty of room. And your decorative pieces are again 3 5/8 by 5 5/8. I just love this paper. It is so pretty. So pretty, so pretty. I'm going to bring this down here. So. Not only did I have all what I had done already, but I had all these other pieces cut out ready to go too. So to me, there was just, I was at a point of no return. So, but, and I don't usually things just, an answer will just, you know, kind of pop in my head. But I'll tell you, and you'll know once you see video number, when you watch video number 2, you will definitely notice, and I apologize for, I mean, I didn't swear or anything like that, but you'll know that I'm frustrated because I keep looking at like, what in the world is going on? There. Okay. Man, that's still. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I might end up putting a, see, it just gets so thick. And I have magnets under there, like 2, there's 3 magnets in there. Okay. I might have to try to slip a ribbon under there. And I don't know if I can get under there. All right. You know what? I think we'll do a paper clip on there. I think we can. I think we can do a clip on there. All right, we'll figure something. I mean, it's magnetized. It's holding barely, so we'll figure that out. All right, let's move on. All right. So on this here, we are going to cut this piece 5 1/4 high by 7 3/4 wide. We're going to put that right down there. And this is that flip. And I am not going to add any decorative cardstock to the inside of those. It's just going to be pink and brown. And the reason being is because it will hold a 4x6 photo exactly. So when you flip this open, each one of these panels will hold a 4x6. So that will be completely covered, so you won't even see any paper, so there's no sense of making that thicker and dealing with that. Okay. Then I glued 4 of the 2 different little tags together. I'm going to place that right down there, and I'm just going to glue along these sides and down along that bottom. And we're going to put a tag in there. There we go. So I'm going to drop it along the bottom there. Just like that. Okay. Then I had this little one that says if the crown fits, and I'm just going to glue that right along that bottom edge. And I will have a few sheets of paper left from this one. Whoops. Okay. Twist. Oh, so little. Lots of flip in my hand here. There we go. There we go. And I just created a piece of pink, 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, and then a piece of brown, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm just going to glue those together, and that will hold a regular photo. I'll hold a 4x6 photo. Don't need any decorative cardstock on it. Just like this here. Just a double mat. That's going to tuck right in there. So when you pull it out, you'll be able to see the princesses there. There we go. All right. Now these were just scraps, and this one is going to tuck right in there. And I think we will do, I want that edge. I want this drape up, okay. So we're just going to tuck that down in that first pocket. Right here, just like this. No, it's not going to go down in there very far, but it doesn't need to. Right down like that. And I'm going to leave about a 1/16 of an inch edge there. Let me see. If I put this under there, you can see. You can see that little edge there, I think. Okay. Then this one I've just rounded the corners already. That's going to go in that back one there. There is 3 pockets, but one doesn't need any paper because it's right back here. It's already got its paper when you put that down first. Whoa, here we go. Slide in there. Well, goodness sakes. There we go. And I'm going to leave a 1/16 of an inch with this one too. Just a little decorative edge there. There we go. So we're going to flip something like that, and then flip something like that. We're going to move to our right side. And we're going to open this up. We're going to go with, let's see, where is it? We're going to go this way. Okay. Just like this. 2A. 2A, our pink piece is 8 1/4 by 4 inches. We're going to move that down. And it's just easier to, when you have flips and stuff like that, just to number them or alphabet them or however you want to do it. Oh, there we go. Just like that. Boy, it's like a short. Okay. And this piece is 8 by 3 3/4. There we go. Just gonna leave us a little edge around there. Just like that. And we're going to go to 2B. 2B. This is 3 7/8 by 8 1/4. And this is 3 5/8 by 8. Slide that into place there. There we go. We're going to open this up. We're going to go to C, which is right here. And with C, 8 1/4 by 4. And the reason they're different is because they're folding in on each other. So you don't want them the same width because they will start to interfere with each other. Now stay away from your lines there. There we go. And this is 8 by 3 3/4. And I have some bigger magnets. I used my, well, they're big, but I have some really big ones that I probably should have used for that other side because they are a lot stronger. I have this size. These are about 1/2 inch magnet. Then I have these ones, which are like a 1 inch magnet, and they're the same thickness as the 1/2 inch ones, but a lot more powerful. So I probably should have used those, but I didn't. Hindsight's always 20/20, I guess. And typically I will throw my pieces of paper together so I know how much magnetic power that I'm going to be needing, and I did not. So we're going to go to 2D, and it's 8 1/4 by 3 3/4. They all should be 8 1/4 high. It's just your widths that are going to be changing a little bit. There we go. And you'll usually pictures you can trim down like this. I mean, you could really trim a picture like this down too. And I think most even 4 by 6 pictures, there's background you can get rid of for the most part. And this piece is 8 by 3.5. And the last one on here is 2E. It's 8 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then top piece is 8 by 3.5. There we go. Okay. So that finishes that up there. So let's fold this back closed. The last piece is actually number 6. Now number 6 is a slanted pocket. What did I do with my number 6 pieces? Oh goodness sakes. Oh, I know. Had them ready. Here we go. All right, so what I did for number 6 is I measured my width, which is 3 1/4, and I went and I cut my paper. And it's not quite, it's just a little over 3. Just a little over 3. And I have 2 pieces. Then I put my pieces together and I put it under, I held this, whoops. Ooh, here we go, like this. I held this underneath here, I lined it up, and I tried to figure out this one, about where it had to be, and then I closed this. I got the backwards there. Oh, here's what I did. This is how I did it. Laid it on top. Kind of figured out where it had to be, side to side, lifted it up, and then I left the bottom about even. And then I took my pencil and I marked it. I just drew a line, okay? So now I'm going to cut 2 of these at the same time. Oopsie. I'm going to line this up in my trimmer, because I can always trim the flat part easier. So let's put this over here. I'm going to line this up in my trimmer. And I'm going to make sure that my line is in my track, and that I am right here and here marching my points, and I'm going to cut those. So now what I have is the perfect width, and I think I'm just going to trim off just a little bit off the bottom, like a 1/8 of an inch here. So let's see. Yeah, I think just like an 1/8 of an inch off the bottom of both of those at the same time. And then that is easier than trying to cut the angle different. So that gives us that, and it's perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down. We have one for the outside and one for the inside. Okay, just like that. Perfect. All right. And I didn't cut the decorative paper to this yet. We'll do that together here. Should be able to get 2 pieces. All right. So just like that. And you could, I mean, if you don't want decorative paper on both, you maybe. And I think I'm just going to leave this one like this for journal. Well, I'm going to cut anyway. All right, so let's see here. You can kind of see our patterns here. All right. Okay. What we got? Let's go with this and the crowns. So we need a piece 8 inches high, which is our height, by our pink is 3 inches. So 2 and let's go 2 3/4, I guess. So 2 pieces, 2 3/4 by 8. All right, so we have 2 3/4. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before. I'm going to take this, I'm going to line it up at the bottom, so I know it's level there. Make my sides about the same. Hold that in place, and I'm going to draw my line. Now this one, I don't think it's really going to matter. What is that? Why? Wait a minute, something's not right here. Something's not right here. Something's not right. That should not be angling like that. Let me see here. Alright, so I'm going to match up my bottom here to match. Otherwise I'm going to end up with a square at the top. So I got this. I'm going to remark that. Hold in place. And let's just do, there we go. Now I'm lining up in that corner where I want to be, okay? So I'm going to match this one up with that one. And actually I think I'm going to use that one as my one there. Let's put that face to face. All right. Get my trimmer back here. I'm going to line this up again. Knocking stuff off my table. When I work, I end up, especially doing something like this, I end up with lots of stuff on my table. Because I'm going to be decorating this too, so let's hope that worked. Okay. Now, let's see where we're at. Perfect. Now we can still cut that down. So I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to trim off about 1/8 of an inch off of the bottom of that. So it worked perfect. All right, and here's my 1/8 of an inch mark. And down, just like that. This glued on here. I'm going to do one like this, and the other one will be the other way. Oh, that looks narrow. I think I can come down even more. Let's do a little bit more. So that would have been like 1/4 of an inch. So let's take another inch off, or not, another 1/8 of an inch. There we go. I'd rather take off not enough than to take off too much. There we go. All right. So let's glue this down. And you can always take off a little bit more. But you can't always add. But you can add. I mean, if you did make a mistake, you could add a little sliver of something else. Just to, and no one but you is going to know. Okay. That you didn't plan it. You always have little pieces left. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Now we can use this as a tag, or this here is from our pocket that we cut off. This one was going to have this tag in it. And I think this is too tall to go in anywhere. What? Yeah, too tall. Too tall. Alright, so let's see if I can get this tag in there. Oh, just look at that. I'm just going to cut a little bit shorter so it's not sticking out so far. And we're going to at least use that tag. I'm going to cut, looks like let's cut off a 1/2 inch. And we'll re-round the corners. There, just using my corner rounder. And it's kind of thick, it's 2 layers of paper, so that's why I've got it on the table. Alright, let's see if that's better. Get the brown side here. There we go, perfect. Alright, so we'll figure out something for that at another time. Let's put our tag back in here. And so now I've created these with the tags. I've just cut out about 1/16 of an inch bigger, so about 1/4 inch bigger. Added a flap on there, and on the flap I just took some of my scrap papers and I've added it to that for decoration. This is going to make a nice area for journaling. So let's see if we can find some places for these to hide, maybe. Maybe not. They're too big for that. So if we put that there, oops, I don't think it'll interfere with that. So then this could open up. Your picture could go on top of here. And you'd still have a little tag and a journaling spot. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna just glue this down, and I just made these up. I didn't know what I was gonna do with them, so that's why I added that decorative paper, but your picture will cover that. So I'm gonna go right along the bottom of my paper here, and I want it so that I can still close this. So let's go ahead and close that. I'm going to press that down. Open it back up. Okay, here we go. There we go. So we have tag. We can put our photo in, and it will still function. And we've got a little thing here. We can journal in there about the picture. Okay, so that's one. Let's see if we can get another one in here. I think, let's see here, if I close that, have one there. All right. I think we can do, that closes like this. Okay. Oops, I see, get down there. And I'm closing it up so I can see. And I think if I just trim this off here, just a little bit of that pink off, still going to leave a tiny bit of pink, but not very much. And it won't enter with that fold. We'll have another place to journal, and our picture will still fit in. Or you could add a little photo on the back of that too. So let's get this like this. We're going to do this one up here. Just like so. That. And this should close up just like that. Trim it just a little bit shorter. Just trim a little bit more of that pink off of there. Saving the tag so it doesn't scrump anything. There we go. There. So got this and this. All right. Okay, let's go this way here. I did 4 of them, so let's go ahead and do, oh, that might not work there. How about here? Does that work there? I'm going to trim that pink off. Just like so. You could have just added a flip on there too. Just cut an inch wide and create a half-inch thing. But I thought it would be nice to have. Okay. And that should easily close there. Yes, it does. Now this one's on the wrong side, but I think if we get that right down in there, I think we'll be fine. Trim that pink off there too. And I'll probably go back in and trim that other pink off just so they're all the same. Okay. Perfect. Let's glue this down. It just gives you a little spot. Journal. Put another little picture. I'm going to stay away from that flip part there. Don't want to interfere with that. And there we go. Okay. Just like that. Now with that, you might have to. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to trim this pink off of here just to make them all the same. All right. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now I have, this is from my scraps. So we might be able to use this as a paper clip to hold that closed. Might work pretty good here. Not sure, will that work? Let me see. It's gonna have to go over the whole thing. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. Nope, not like that. It's gotta be. What I want is this to bend there and there so it's big enough. Okay, we've got to figure something else out here. All right. Maybe too many magnets. I created thickness too. I think once it's closed, me see. I'm not sure if I can get under that pink. Let me see if I can get into that pink. Where's my... There it is. Looking for my spatula. Sometimes this makes it a little easier. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, might not be able to. It's going to destroy my pink. You know what? I think, hang on. I think, okay, I think I can, if I can get under here, and I can, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my ribbon under there. Sorry, my husband just turned up the TV. He's watching ridiculousness. Whoa. Alright. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this. Get another piece. I can always trim it off. So I'm going to glue this down in there. This is big enough. It should be. Yeah, so I'm going to get some glue down in there. On that spot that I just opened up. Okay. It's about in the center. Can't tell if I've got glue in there or not. I do not. So this is what I mean by trying to think things as you go along. Sometimes things happen. There we go, we got glue. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide this in there. Okay. Slide that in there. And that's going to dry. Okay. Let that dry. Now, we're going to take another piece, okay, and I'm just going to replace this so I can get a good piece in here, okay. That's my best bet right now, is to do that, okay. So I want this to be about even, so right in here, okay. And then we'll just recut and redo that one. And that's my best option for right now. Lay that down. Okay. And we'll cut another piece. Let's see here. So when you do that, before you lay down your final covered piece, put some ribbon in there, and that will help with that problem. Let's go ahead and I think we're going to use this one. I haven't used this one yet other than the tags because I like the tags. Let's go ahead and use this. We're going to recut this, and we need a piece 3 3/4 by 8. Okay. All right. All right. That is my best bet for right now. And I apologize for that mess up. Okay. And I know that makes it kind of hard to follow along. And so I am sorry about that. But it just goes to show that when you run into something that frustrates you, just don't Don't throw the whole thing out. Set it aside, you know, so you can, down the road, pull it back out a little bit and try to redo it. So now I think what we'll get here is I'll be able to at least keep this closed with the ribbon. Okay. Light blue ribbon. It's very slippery ribbon. There we go. I got so much glue on my hands. There we go. Alright. Nice and I'm just going to cut this a little bit shorter here. There we go. My fingers are just covered in glue. Oh my goodness, Deanna. There we go. That will hold it shut anyway. Alright. So that is better. That will at least hold it shut. Now, I made up, I took a piece of, I have some of this extra of the Princess Collection, Belle of the Ball, 4501792. I have a lot of extra of that. I took my Heartfelt Creations Classic Rose and I cut out a bunch of them. I then used the shy thing. Where is that? Oh, right here. That's what's up. Okay. So it's the shaping mold. I did that. And then, of course, I used the flower shaping kit. And I already pre-glued these together. So it would be ready. Okay. And I thought it would be nice to have some of these on there. I also cut out some of the stamps. And I put some bump ups on there. So I'm going to put those right where these ones were. I'm going to add some extra glue here. Alright. So I'm putting them right back where the other ones were. This is this one here. And I just use the odd shapes. I don't waste the edges of my pop-ups. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and open this so I'm not pressing on that. There we go, just like that. Nice and flat. I'm not pressing on that on the inside. Putting extra pressure on, I don't need to. Okay. I think we're going to use hot glue to put these on. My glue gun should be good and hot. Kind of like that right there. Give that a dab. Slide it underneath it there. And this is a pretty one too. Maybe just like that. And put some smaller ones together here. Whoops, we got some leaves here. Probably should have shoved that under there first. Huh? Let me see if I can lift that up a second and put that leaf under there. There we go. And then I have this leaf here. And that's kind of nice because it bumps those up. It gives them texture and dimension. Just like that. Let's maybe just, where are my little ones? Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and put one of these in the center there. And then got that one. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, let me grab some pearls. Or, oh, here, let's put some bling in there. Put some bling in there. Let's see. How about some gold? Let's go ahead and add some of the gold. I think that will look pretty. Getting out those gold tones. So I'll put a dab of glue in there. These are from Hobby Lobby. Jewelry section. They're not, there's no adhesive on the back, which is fine because I usually don't use the adhesive anyway. Let's see here. I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that gold. Looks nice. Something different here. Whoops. Oh, totally upside down. There you go. Tell you this, this book, I had a cold when I started it, and it just, I don't know. I just have so much glue on my hands. There we go. So hopefully you guys aren't as frustrated as I am, right? There we go. Glue in there. Get that in there. There we go. Okay. So that is that half. Let's see. Here we can get I think I want to maybe put something on here. Bump up that part a little bit. So when it's closed, let's see here. Put that on there. When it's closed, we'll lift that up a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put a one there. And then we'll just add more of these here. Just like that. Can't put much on that angle anyway, so just gonna put these there. Let's go with, I want the gold. Let's go with the pinks on these ones. Okay. Get in there. All right. And this art glitter glue usually holds them pretty good. Okay. I think now you have room for some bigger tags in your pockets here. If you want to add, there's 1 pocket, 2 pockets, 3 pockets. You can add tags to that. That is helping hold that up. Perfect. And it's not squishing them. See? All right, so this, I think that's good. All right. I will add some more tags to that, and you can see them in the walkthrough. But I think that's it for today. So even though it was a little frustrating, I hope you liked my video. If you do, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please hit that bell so you can be notified every time I put up a new video. I do other videos other than these type of things. I do regular mini albums, I do crafts, and I do scrapbooking, shadow box layouts. And if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. Today would especially be appreciated. All right, thank you so much, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.